Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 106 of Cameron's Nostalgia Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strickland, and today I have with me John Schoonraad. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Now, for any of you guys who don't know, John is a special effects guy who worked on TV shows and films, including The Dark Crystal, Star Wars, and among others. And of course, The Little Mermaid.
I believe we did. Someone told me, I don't always know what we've worked on. I remember that Little Mermaid, but I don't exactly know what we did. That'd be my company livecast. So I'd have to check that one out properly with, if it says it's written down somewhere, we did. I seem to remember, do you know what we did on it, Cameron? I'll have to get back to you. I'll have to find that one out. I'll have to ring up my son. But we did work on The Little Mermaid.
Let's start off with our first question.
Sure.
How did you get interested in special effects?
Well, I think I had a little chat with you earlier on, and I said that when I was a kid, I used to play with clay bullets, live bullets that dug up from the garden. I set a few off naughtily, and my grandmother made me take the bullets to the police station. But I think it was just I started off as an apprenticeship in mold making, which led me into the film industry. And from the film industry, I gravitated towards what I liked, obviously, which was special effects. And special effects people would come to me and ask me what to do. You know, it's a bit like, I don't know, I was on a thing called Space Precinct, and a guy walked in, Ian Wingrove, dearly departed, lovely guy. He said, "I'm going to make some chewing gum for Mission Impossible, and you're going to throw it at this fish tank and it's going to blow up. What have you got?" So I gave him some two-part silicon that went together, and he went, "Fantastic." Went away, and that was the little chewing gum that they used for Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise. So I mean, special effects is. I love doing things. I've blown a few things up, even though I'm not properly licensed because we were allowed to do things when we had like pop videos and stuff. I blew things up using fireworks. Amazing. And I've been near some pretty big bangs as well. There was a few bangs on Highlander that was unbelievable. Where we blew every window out in this Dockland area. Hundreds of windows were like taped with Cortex, and we're all told to open our mouths and put our fingers in our ears. And when this bang went off, it was on the other side of London, on the other side of Tower Bridge. It was like the Flintstones because all the lights on the other side of the river were off, or some of them. And then suddenly all these lights started coming on. They probably thought there's a bomb. And then the police came, but back to the area where the explosion went off, we started having a problem because the glass had atomized or turned to dust, and it was going in our throat and in our eyes and shit. And so we were drinking stuff and putting masks on, and then thank God it rained and it stopped it all. But we didn't allow for that. We didn't allow for the all the little powdered glass in the air. So there's a lot of things that go on when you're doing special effects. It's not all bangs. It's as I said earlier on, we're asked to make lots of things. A bottle that breaks, a breakaway wall. My son does a lot of breakaways in films. He's just been working on Supergirl and did the Fantastic Four, and I think what he's doing on now, Spider-Man stuff as well. So I just gravitated to what you like doing, really. I hung out with the people that did that stuff, and they liked me, I liked them, and away we went.
Nice. So, you worked on Star Wars.
Yeah, the first Star Wars I worked on was called Revenge of the Jedi. It was changed to Return of the Jedi, and I really enjoyed working on that film. It was I started on construction on that, so I was on the Ewok village, and then the oh, what is it? The skiff, Jabba's skiff, which I still sign autographs or cards people send me, and oh, a little bit of repair on a land speeder. Uh, Loads of lots of things to do with that film, yeah. And my handle on my CB handle radio was Jedi, and at the time everybody said, "What's a Jedi?" And well, everybody knows what a Jedi is now, but they didn't then, back in the 80s. So it was a great film to work on with a great crew, great people, and a lot of them. We've lost a few of those people now; they're gone. So that's pretty sad. But at the time, this was all going on in Elstree. I mean, we did Raiders of the Lost Ark, we did Temple of Doom. There's the Dark Crystal was done in there. Jedi was done in there. Just a whole ton of stuff.
All right. You have worked on Men vs. Bee.
Say that again.
You have worked on Men vs. Bee.
Oh, Man versus Bee. Yes, with Rowan Atkinson. Yes, we made a really nice dog. Two really nice dogs, and a little puppet that, well, rather a basic dog that the puppeteer could work on. And there was a lot of work went into that dog, and he really liked it. In the film, not so much do you see that dog, but what you do see is pretty good. I mean, the dog had to be thrown off his lap, so you wouldn't do that to a real dog. And the real dog was pretty nice, but it was enjoyable thing working with Ryan. And then we worked on his next film, Man versus Baby, where we supplied the baby, and the baby's used a lot more.
Do you have behind the scenes footage or photos of Men vs. Bee?
Did you say that again? Sorry, do I have photos?
I'll say it again.
Yeah,
Do you have behind the scenes footage or photos of Man vs. Bee?
I don't know. Um, we may have. I didn't go on set for the actual shoot. I went on set for all the show and tell. So when we met Rowan, showed him the dog, talked stuff through. There was some filming going on. It was at a new little studio. Like I said, they're cropping up everywhere. An old airfield turned into a studio near Hemel Hempstead, I think. And I may have some behind the scenes footage, but or photographs. I can't remember. I think we just concentrated on the finished photos of the dog because we do a lot of dog. We did like a little. I told you before. We did a dog for Bridget Jones' Diary when the dog jumps in the water or gets thrown in the water, or falls in the water, and it's swimming. And so we made two swimming dogs, which were really good. But it's a very fast clip, and it's just to kind of guarantee that they get the shot of the dog. But in the dog, when the dog was first introduced to us, it didn't swim, they said, but they kind of got it to swim a bit. So we're kind of there for backup and for, a lot more sometimes. It depends. But the Man versus Bee behind the footage, I can't swear to. We must have something somewhere. Well, do you want some? Do you want me to send you some?
Yes.
Okay, if I find it, I can't find it right this second, but I'll ask for it. It may take a few days, and I'll send you it, Cameron, gladly, as
All
you're a
right.
fan.
I am a fan.
Good. I've got some pictures with Rowan Atkinson and the dog at the show and tell. Little videos of that. Would you like that as well?
Yes.
Okay, I'll dig into my little archive there, and I'll get you some stuff sent.
For the upcoming, you worked on Firebrand.
You say that. What film? This is where you have to enlighten me. I don't always know. Firebrand. Who was in it?
Yes.
I worked on so many. When I say I've worked on them, I have my crew works on them, or I work on them. And I mean, I'll give you an example. I saw a real life documentary thing about the football team in Thailand, little kids, and they were cut inside. They were inside a cave that was flooded, and they got them out. And They had to actually knock them out or give them a drug and drug them to put them in like a cradle, and then the cradle had to go through these really tight gaps, and they had a breathing apparatus and shit. So they were showing this documentary, and I said, "Wow, that's really cool." I had maybe a dummy in there. I think I wish we worked on that. Then my son said, "We did that. Don't you remember? We made those dummies, and you life cost that boy, and we did." And I went, "Okay, I'd forgotten." So I'm getting a bit. So when you say Firebrand, who's in it? What's it about? Is it a recent film? Sometimes we get a production company ask us to do work, and they may say, I don't know, Picture Palace or something, and then they ask for the work to be done. We give them the work, and then it goes off and makes a movie. It turns out to be Firebrand or something like that. And so I don't always completely aware. We don't always have crew. I like to have crew that go out with all our work, but sometimes for budget reasons they don't want that. They want to do it themselves, which is not the best thing idea. I'm always used to have somebody along with it, but they just don't want to spend the extra money on giving a person a job. Firebrand. I need to find out. Can you Google that? Tell me who's in it. I might be able to help you.
It took place in Oklahoma.
Okay. You don't know any of the actors. A lot of the times, what happens a lot is we get an English actor that lives in England or is here, an actor, and the film is shooting in America. So this guy will come to us for a live cast, for a 3D scan. We'll produce all that stuff, and then we'll send them the digital information, and we'll send them the hard copy as well, so that their makeup team can get on with the job before they actually arrive, and it helps expedient the whole process. So that might have been what that one was. I'll have to look Firebrand up. Have you got a lead actor in there for me?
I don't.
Okay. Well, I'll check it out later. But at the moment, I can't answer that. If I've been put down as Firebrand, then somewhere in that equation we did something, or I did something for that film. I haven't seen it, so I can't help you. I'm sorry.
And do you have some puppets?
Yes, we've still got a lot of puppets.
Will you show it to me?
Well, I'm in my home at the moment, so I haven't got any puppets here. But I can send you a whole bunch of stuff, um, like photographs and stuff. My wife that's just went walking back and forth here. She was a puppet maker at Henson's, and we met when she was 21. She's like 50, I think, this year. Sorry, and so she's made hundreds of puppets. We did a. I don't know if you know this. You don't get a thing called Sky, do you? There's a TV show called Yonderland, and the people were a great bunch of people. They actually did a thing called Ghosts as well. There's an American version, but we made hundreds of puppets for a show that they did called Yonderland. And my God, it was just so, it was like being back at Henson's. We just did tons and tons of puppets, devils and demons and all kinds of weird, wonderful, fluffy, giant puppets that were that. But yeah, my puppets, like I told you, I think we did a Super Bowl Puppy Monkey Baby a while back that went out to, they said 50 million people, which is quite nuts. We weren't allowed to talk about it though. They had a bit of a publicity ban or NDA on it. So I'm talking about it now, but yeah, we did that. Excuse me. Excuse me. So yeah, at the moment I'm sitting in my home. The workshop's at Elstree. Perhaps we can have another blog in the future, and we can have the whole thing set up there, and I can pull a few puppets out and show you what's going on. But there was in the Yonderland series of was an elf that was a friend. There was a talking stick, and it was all very magical. It was really cool. But yeah, lots of puppets.
All right. So, what time and day do we do our video chat again?
Well, I think I'll leave it up to you. You let me know when you want to do it. I mean, there's so many things we do. I'll tell you what, I will get something. Oh, right. Just a couple of things I keep on my shelf. Here we have we worked on a TV series called Loki, and there was this guy. He's mainly blue, but we did a giant head of his. It's way big. It's like massive head. So I just thought, hey, print me out a little head for this guy, and so they did. You can see it's all printed stuff. And then my son Tristan worked on a thing called Raised by Wolves. And there's this lady here, and she goes flying around going, yee, killing everybody. And so I thought, oh, let's have a little one of those. And I have a few of these little figures. I quite like them. I got them from another film we worked on called Life. So I've got all the guys from Life. And I've got quite a few of these. I just think they're cool. She kind of like was this robot that raised these kids, and when she was like that, she went flying around, she just melted everybody by screaming. That's what I got here. If I'd have known you wanted to see a few more things, I could have got a few things. But next time we're going to do another blog, and I'll put something together for you. There we go.
Well, we can do it tomorrow.
We could, but let me tell you what, let's not do it tomorrow, because tomorrow here's Saturday, and I have to talk to my son to organise things. So Saturday's also the weekend, so we're going to kind of got a few things to do. Next week, maybe why don't we do it next Friday or next Thursday? You know, there's a few. I mean, obviously, the catalogue of work I do is it's pretty huge. I mean, we could be sitting here for 1 week talking without stopping about what we do uh, and what I have done. You know, when I worked on James Bond years ago, and I was making submarines, I was making cars that blow up, I was making guns. It's kind of, you know, I made hundreds of guns, I made spaceships, Space Precinct, the series. That went on for 18 months. There was hundreds of aliens and all kinds of things going on, all kinds of explosions. And then making a new Highlander. So I did about 2 or 3 of those as well. The very first one was really cool. After that, not so much, but looking forward to the new one. And I'd already worked with the Highlander guy. He's called Christopher Lambert. We all called him Christophe Lambert because he's French. He's Belgium, actually. And I worked with him first on Greystoke. So I was working in the jungle, making a jungle in Elstree. And it was so cold that in the middle of winter, birds would fly into the studio. And they started nesting and having babies like in the middle of winter because it was so warm in there and it was so like a jungle. They thought it was like springtime. And it was panthers. And then one day I walked in there one day and they went, "Oh, there's a little hippo over there." They dropped the crate. I think it's hurt itself. Not badly. Anyway, I went over there and I saw this little pygmy hippo. Well, it's about a metre long, 2 metres maybe. And it had a little cut nose, that's all. And I was stroking it. It was the loveliest little animal you've ever met. Moist and warm and very, very friendly. Um, so in our job, you just get to see everything that you never would have seen before. You know, it's just one of those jobs, and you meet experts. And I got picked up on Highlander to go up to Scotland by a guy called Hamish McGuinness, who was a famous mountain climber. I mean, really went up with Edmund Hillary, or not Edmund Hillary, was it Bonington, up to the Everest, Mount Everest. He picked me up. He says, "I thought you were someone important." I says, "I'm important." But on the way, he told me so many stories about Scotland, about you know historical things. So you meet these fascinating people. When I was in Thailand, the Thai people there were amazing. I was on Rambo. That was I was putting squibs on people and blowing things up, and we had amputated people. And we were putting arms on them with charges in them and blowing them up. We blew this bloke up 3 times with his leg, and when his shoe landed on the roof, we had to go and get it. And it's incredible stuff that was going on. Absolutely incredible. There's a guy with a flamethrower there. That would be one of the most. That is one of the scariest kind of things I've ever seen. A flamethrower. That really is dangerous. We had to put out a few fires by chucking bottles of water at it. It's crazy, and these crazy Thai people, and still Sylvester Stallone is just something else because you're working with not only a guy that directs, acts, but he knows every form of special effects. He's an expert on everything, so we got on quite good. We got on very well. Me and him got on very well, which was great. Uh, so I'm very lucky to have worked with so many people. And I worked with Tom Hanks on Saving Private Ryan, and Vin Diesel was one of his first films. There was so much. You meet these people at the beginning of their careers. Worked with Kate Winslet on a film, and she'd only just done one film before that. Then I worked with her again after Titanic. We had a good chat, and then we did another film with her a little while back with a giant statue, which had to do something. And then also her father that was dead in a glass case had to break. Um, so yeah, and the history goes round. I worked with David Bowie, I worked with Bjork, I worked with lots of people in the music industry as well. Lots of pop videos were fun in the old days. Yeah, it's good to actually reminisce. But any other questions?
Well, I just want to say thank you so much, John, for your support.
Well, Cameron, you're a very easy guy to support, and I've enjoyed you getting in touch with me and me being allowed to talk. And we can do more. I will get something to you. Maybe you would maybe send me an email with a list of things you'd like to see. But I'll get you some puppets, all right? I'll get you some background photographs from Man versus Bee. And yeah, it's been a real pleasure, Cameron. You're good. I like your mum and dad too. Say hello to them for me again.
I might video chat you at around April 2nd.
Okay, what day's that? Is that about a week? Sounds good to me. Okay, we'll do that.
You mean next Thursday?
Yes, okay, is that what it is? April the 2nd, next Thursday?
Yes,
Okay, deal. That's a deal.
in the same time.
Is that okay for you? It's good for me.
You know, 8:30 a.m. is my time.
Yes.
And 11 o'clock is your time.
Correct.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Well, I will say that I've really enjoyed being able to talk to you. I was telling my son about you yesterday, and he thought that was cool. And maybe I'll get him to stick his head in and say hi or something. Maybe we can next Thursday. Maybe we can go to the workshop and do it from there, and then you get to see a few more things.
Nice.
Nice.
Stay tuned, there will be more guests coming up. Until next time, peace.
Peace.